Good morning, students. This is Sampat Bhadu, Assistant Professor of English, Government College, Sri Dungargud. Today we are going to take up the second poem, Tears, Idle Tears, Part 2 of Alfred Lord Tennyson. Let's take up the remaining stanza of the poem. Sad and strange as in dark summer dawns, the earliest pipe of half-awakened birds to dying ears, when unto dying eyes the casement slowly grows a glimmering square, so sad, so strange, the days that are no more. Dear as remembered kisses after death, and sweet as those by hopeless fancy feigned, on lips that are for others, deep as love, deep as first love, and wild with all regret, or death in life, the days that are no more. Dear students, in the last two stanzas of the poem, actually these two stanzas of Alfred Lord Tennyson are derived from Tears, Idle Tears. This poem is one of the songs in Tennyson's long poem, The Princess. The poet says that the sight of present joy often brings back memories of joys that have been and are or no more. It is pleasant to recall the days that are past, but painful to realize that they are gone forever. The poet says that the tears coming to his eyes are sad and strange, like the song of the birds heard first of all in the early morning by a dying man. The senses of the dying man become weak. The summer dawn appears dull and gloomy to him as the light grows stronger with the approach of morning. The window reveals its square shape slowly and faintly to the eyes of the dying person in the early morning. The chirping of birds and the shape of the window appears sad and strange to the dying man. In the same way, memory of the past is sad and strange for the poet. The poet describes the intensity of his feelings by two similes. He says that the memory of the past joys is as sweet as the kisses of the beloved one who is now dead, leading behind a memory of love. It is as sweet as the imagined kisses of a rejected lover on the lips of a beloved who now belongs to another man. The imagined kisses bring great joy and delight to the lover, but they cause intense pain also. They are painful because the lover knows that his beloved now belongs to another person. The memory of past joy is deep. It is deep as first love, whose memory can never fade. It is full of profound sadness. The memory of the past fills the heart with regret and makes life full of the pangs of death. The memory of the past joys is so painful and vivid that it is a constant agony, a living death to realize that those happy days will never come again. Dear students, the sound of words, the rhythm, the simile, all together successfully build the mood that the poet wishes to create. The poet is expressing his feelings for the days that are no more. All the four stanzas end with these words. The poet uses many adjectives for this. For example, fresh, sad, strange, dear, sweet, deep, wild, etc. For almost each one there is an appropriate simile which tries to enrich the adjective, fresh as the first beam glittering on a sail, dear as remembered kisses after death, deep as first love. All that is felt is summed up in the phrase death in life of the last stanza, my dears. Dear students, death in life simply means when your life is lifeless. In other words, when life is without enthusiasm, without energy, without hope, without joy, without eagerness, without delight, without any expectations. When we become destitute, when we become hopeless, helpless, and helpless, it appears to us as death in life, simply because we feel that we are no more, though we are breathing. Same is the case with the poet. The poet says, I feel very much sad and strange. Okay, let's take up the critical appreciation of the poem Tears, Idle Tears. Now we are going to take up it in a critical perspective, or we are going to analyze the poem critically. Tennyson is one of the greatest poets of the Victorian era. As poetic artists, he ranks with Shakespeare and Keats. Tennyson often reminds us of Keats. He has the same gifts of pictorial presentation and an astonishing command of the musical resources of the language. His poems offer us many opportunities of discovering the numerous ways in which the sounds of words can be made to echo the sense. Tennyson was a meticulous artist and took great pains to perfect his poems in diction, in imagery, and in melodious rhythm. The short lyric, Tears, Idle Tears, is a good example of Tennyson's great art. Let's discuss some key points or key notes of critical appreciation. First, perfect harmony between mood and imagery. The most outstanding feature of the poem is the perfect harmony between matter and manner. There is perfect harmony between the central mood on the one hand and rhythm and imagery on the other hand. The sadness and sweetness of the idle tears are emphasized by images of the meeting and departure, life and death, ecstasy of love, and the sadness of disappointment. The sound of words, the rhythm, the similes all together successfully build the mood that the poet wishes to create. The poet is expressing his feelings for the days that are no more. All the four stanzas of the poem, and with these 6 words, the poet uses many adjectives for this. For example, fresh, sad, strange, dear, sweet, deep, wild, etc. For almost each of one, there is an appropriate simile which tries to enrich the adjectives. For example, fresh as the first beam glittering on a sail, dear as remembered kisses after death, deep as first love, etc. In the concluding line, all that is felt is summed up in the phrase death in life. Oh, death in life, the days that are no more. Tennyson uses many artistic devices in this poem for obtaining perfect harmony between mood and music. In this poem, we notice perfect harmony between mood and the music, as well as the movement of the lines. Tennyson is one of the greatest artists in English literature. He attains this perfect harmony by the following means. Number one, use of the long and open vowel sounds. Their use contributes to the slow, grave movement of the lines. Second, subtle use of alliteration and other devices. Their use creates musical effect even though the stanzas of 5 iambic lines are without rhyme. Let's take up the text. Fresh as the first beam glittering on the sail, tears from the depth of some divine despair. It's important to note how the accent falls emphatically upon the key words like tears, fresh, strange, death, life, etc. The refrain, the days that are no more, sounds like a subdued wail of the heart prolonged in the vowel sounds and then allowed to melt like notes of dying music. Next, the beautiful use of imagery. The poem contains many beautiful images. The images are very appropriate and enhance the artistic beauty of the poem and make clear the idea of the poem. The second stanza contains the opposite images of the ship returning home in the first splendor of the morning sun. The same ship departs from the native port with the red hues or red color of the setting sun falling on the sail. The first image makes us happy, the second makes us disappointed, dejected, sad, melancholy. The third stanza, the imagery of the early morning with the fresh carol of the happy birds is combined with the gloomy picture of the dying man. In the last stanza, we have images from love under 3 aspects. Number 1, devoted love quenched by death. Second, hopeless love. And third, young love with its deep ecstasy. Now, let's discuss the choice of words and phrases or the diction. The poem is also remarkable for Tennyson's meticulous care in the choice of words. The words seem inevitable in the context where they occur or where they happen, where they take place. Depth of some divine despair, reddened over one that sinks below the verse, the early pipe of half-awakened birds, death in life. There is not a single word which may be thought unnecessary or improper. The style is absolutely free from any trace of superfluity. Grace, lucidity, and classical refinement are the qualities both of its diction and of its thought. Tennyson's meticulous care in the choice of words can be illustrated in his use of the verbs bring up, line number 7, and sink, line number 9. These verbs are used to suggest the exact manner in which the ship becomes visible on approach or goes out of sight as it moves away. It's the sail of the ship which is the first thing that is noticed before a ship appears on the horizon. It is also the last to disappear from the sight. Now, let's discuss the pictorial effect of the poem. Tennyson is a master of producing picturesque beauty in his poems. In this poem, the pictorial effect is artistically subdued to the mood of the poem. It is never allowed to obtrude itself upon our attention too much. It is only in the third stanza that we can be conscious of the pictorial effect. The line, when unto dying eyes the casement slowly grows a glimmering square, the poet painter's superb art has fused together observation and verbal felicity. That's all for today, and have a nice day. Thank you.